What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Rent This Flip That, and today we are putting some texture on a wall. That's right, today we'll be taking a look at the spray texture gun from Harbor Freight Tools. Now I have to admit, we didn't know how to use this thing when we first got started. It was a little bit of trial and error, but with a little bit of patience and a little bit of persistence and some help from CJ Drill on YouTube, we were able to get this thing put together and get some texture on the wall. Also, there's a little feature that doesn't come with the gun that we added ourselves, and I think you're gonna like it. It's gonna be a whole lot easier on the ears, unless you wanna hear your compressor run all day long. Anyway, that's what we're about to get into today. So if that's something you're into, or you just wanna see how the thing works, then don't go nowhere, because that's what we got coming up next. Here we go.
Okay guys, so this was our first run through, and the first thing you're going to want to do is get a container to put your drywall mud in. Now you're going to have to add some water, so make sure it's big enough that you can get a mixer down in there and mix it all up. It needs to be about the consistency of pancake batter.
And I would think you need to mix all you're going to use in like one wall at the same time, so it's all the same consistency. Stingy with the water. Is 2 slower?
2 is fast.
1 is slow.
For those of you who are not aware how a drill actually works, there are 2 settings, number 1 and number 2. 1 is if you're trying to drive screws, and 2 is if you're trying to drill holes. 1 will spin with a lot of torque, and number 2 will spin with a lot of speed. Do you need a bucket of water or something?
Why do I need a bucket of water?
So put that in and spin it clean.
I was just showing you the consistency of it.
Okay.
And this thing, we put the smallest tip on. There's a medium and large. We took the large off and put the small on. We're gonna take this thing, put the handle towards you, like CJ Drill told me to do. And just for the record, guys, I went to YouTube to figure out how to do this. I think this needs to go on first.
What's her name, Lydia?
Her name is Leah? Her name is Leah.
Leah from CJ Drill. I don't see her put a lot of videos out, but the ones she does put out are pretty quality, so they do stand the test of time.
I'm gonna have to go grab a screwdriver, which is right here in our handy dandy bucket. And she says make it tight. You don't want your stuff dripping. So, is the black thing supposed to show? Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe a little.
What's going on here? Why? Oh, I gotta make it the right size and then tighten it down? I don't know how this thing works.
Just get close and then crank it down.
Well, I'm not nowhere close. I didn't know. Thought it was gonna do it itself. Yeah, I'm definitely not familiar with how this works. You got any ideas?
What's that?
How do I make it smaller?
Hey, hold this. Now, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick this screwdriver in here and turn it. Righty to tighty. Like that. Until it gets smaller.
That's what I was doing. You just keep turning it and that's it?
Yeah. See how it's
Yeah, but you
here
just
now?
keep turning the screwdriver and that's it?
Yeah, until it gets to the
right,
roundness that you want.
I
See
thought
that?
I didn't know that. I thought you had to fix it and then just tighten it down. Yeah, because it acted like it didn't want to go any further. And it was like huge.
I probably just did it too tight.
No?
No?
Well, this thing's still got to go around it. We'll see.
So if I did, just back it off a little bit. And then
Okay. Alright, we are on. We're gonna come back down here a little bit. And I don't guess it matters if the screw's in the front or the back. Alright, that's about all I can get it tight. This looks like it's good, I guess. I'm not sure, guys. I can move it, so
I mean, the mud's pretty thick, so it's not like it's water.
Oh, right.
Leak out of it, you know what I'm saying? It's just
All right.
enough for mud to not leak out of it, and I think it's pretty tight.
All right.
Once you get your drywall mud mixed up the consistency it's supposed to be, find somewhere to set your container up and pour the mud in.
Is that cake battery?
Look at that, we're making a cake. Smooth, creamy drywall mud. All right, we are full. We are ready to hot.
That we are. All right, well, I gotta get the thing.
What the hell? You didn't install that yet? And Kelly was supposed to install this thingy and then pour mud in there, so we'll do it the other way. How about some Teflon tape?
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some channel locks.
Did it make it tighter? No, this way.
Yep. All right, let's try it. And if it leaks, we'll put more on there.
Gosh, man, that's pretty tight. Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
That ain't working. Something's going out the front here. Now let's just stop for a minute and explain what just happened. As I stated earlier, we have never used a hopper before. We have seen it used and we've seen it in use, but we didn't know that the air was supposed to be continuously spraying out and there was a stopper inside that would open up as you pulled the trigger. That would throw the mud on the wall. So we poured all the mud back in our pan, did some more research, and we came up with a great idea. I do flooring and I can't stand for my compressor to run all day. So check this out. We found this air regulator adapter at Harbor Freight Tools as well. We had to remove the part that you plug the gun into first because this will go in the hopper first and then you will put the other piece on. This will allow you to turn the air on and off so that it is not constantly blowing when you are not using it.
I'm gonna tighten it up. All right, so the other day or yesterday or whatever day it was, we hooked this up, we had drywall in it, we were ready to spray this wall back here, and we could not get air to quit shooting out of this. And we pulled up videos online and nobody's air was shooting out of this when they just plugged the air hose in. So after a little more research, Z found some videos, CJ and Drill I suppose, that, yeah, she was using the same gun, but she had a, what is it called?
She didn't have anything. She had air blowing too. When we turned it on.
Oh, that's right. She had air blowing, but when she was holding it, and I was like, look, her air gun's hooked up and everything. She didn't have her compressor on yet, I guess, because air wasn't blowing. But when she actually started spraying, her air didn't stop. So we had it all right. We just didn't know it. So we aborted that mission and tried to fix the air blowing. I actually took the gun back to Harbor Freight. They looked at it. They exchanged it for a new one because they also thought something was wrong with it. We got the new one back. It still blew air. So we went and bought this thing right here, which is an
regulator.
A regulator?
Yeah, you can turn the air
it's
up.
It's an in-light.
Yeah,
Oh, this isn't up, down, or off. This is on or off, right?
Yeah, it's on and off, but you can adjust the flow of the air because there's a hole in it, and you can make it like a half hole, a whole hole, a quarter hole. The less hole you show,
but you don't.
It'll shoot out lightly.
All right. Well, doing this, what we're gonna do, it has to be set to a certain pressure, and that pressure's on the air compressor out there.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were you, I wouldn't try to do that with this. I would just open it up wide open and get your pressure that you need out there.
Right on.
You can get a pressure gauge here though, like this one, so that you can see the pressure while it's here and adjust it. This is on the paint gun. We're not taking it off for this gun. All right, so we're gonna fill this up with drywall and get started. Just gonna see, this has been sitting here for a couple days, so I feel like we should probably add some water to it, but we'll mix it up and see. I haven't added any more water to it, just because I want to see things. You don't think it's too thick?
I don't think so.
All right, no water added then. Put this in here like this. I'm just using the box to hold it because it's a little weird holding it and trying to fill it up at the same time. This is our first time doing this, but I would think you would need to mix up as much as you think you're going to use on at least the wall you're doing, so that it's the same consistency and you don't get half the wall done and have to mix up some more, and who knows if it's going to be the same. And I have no idea how much of this stuff is actually going to be put on the wall. I don't know if we have too much or not enough, but this is what we're starting with. And we are doing this wall here, which is how big?
It's about 7 foot by 8 foot.
Alright, so approximately 7 foot by 8 foot.
About 8 foot to that ceiling, but it looks like there's around 13 inches of ceiling.
Alright, I have a red door outside because I've never done this before that we're going to practice on, because we don't want to, for the first time doing it, put it on this wall because we don't know if it's going to be right.
It's not the game. We're talking about practice, man.
I'll get these and switch these out. And we're going to go out here and spray this red door.
Yep.
Alright, we plugged in the air compressor hose and no air is coming out. Right, but if we turn this, and it just turns in a circle. Wide open, and now it's closed. Yeah, like $1.50. This adjusts how much comes out. It's not really fanish. That's what they said on the video. It's not like a paint gun where it fans out. She said it spits. So we're gonna start like that and see what happens. And so we're gonna turn on max air right there. Hold it like that. And you're back. Is that how we want it? We're also using the medium hole here. In the front, there's a smaller one and a bigger one.
I won't bore you guys with our practice, but I did want to mention we were out there for about 10 minutes just to make sure we got a good feel of it. But then it was time to get inside and get this wall textured. No more playing around.
Alright, we got it all taped up, and I'm going to drop this down because I don't want to shoot into the kitchen. I don't know if we're doing that wall or not, but I don't want to shoot into the kitchen. And I will put this bucket on it so it don't blow in. All right. This is how much it's going to spit out, not really the fan. It's not really how much fan. Yeah, it's how much mud's going to come out. So we're going to do it. And you
Well guys, it looks like we finally got the hang of it, and I gotta say, when it was over, the wall looked really good. And hey, if you got an issue with drywall in your house where your walls are just not perfectly straight, this kind of texturing will help to hide some of that. It adds highs and lows where you just wouldn't see one long straight shadow through the whole wall. And also, if you're wondering how they do that popcorn ceiling, this is the tool to do it with as well. If you guys haven't already subscribed, how are you going to know when we put more videos out? We got a lot more coming ahead, so go on down and join the DIY family. And if you appreciated today's video, help us out by smashing the like button.